911 Season 9, Episode 16, Where There's Smoke, was a fantastic episode, in my opinion. It gave us incredible nonlinear storytelling, awesome cinematography. We had a super strong ensemble dynamic, interesting plot, a story that carried through the whole episode and utilized all its characters, spotlighting Kenneth Choi, who is an incredible actor, and we love Chimney, and it's always wonderful to kind of get a moment with him and his emotional life. We also had silly, goofy Scooby Doo antics and a poignant story that tied it all together with a progressive message. I mean, it kind of had it all, and I want to talk about it. So if you're caught up, let's get into it. And if you're not, let this serve as an encouragement to watch episode 16. I know some of you are just picking and choosing which episodes to watch this season. If last week's was a little too heavy for you, this one won't be. So I highly recommend it. The main thing about this episode that stood out to me was the nonlinear storytelling and how well it incorporated the ensemble. They've been doing a really good job on this show in season 9B, really utilizing all of their characters and then finding out ways to put all the characters together in one scene, which is my favorite thing about TV. I love ensemble casts. I love it when TV does it right. Obviously, I have my favorite characters, but when they're all working together on something, that is when shows like this shine, and I think they did a great job. Nonlinear storytelling is, when they sort of start out with a scene and then they backtrack a little bit and start breadcrumbing information to the audience, and you are left trying to figure out the mystery along with the characters, and it's going back and forth, and then you're getting a little bit more information, and then you're going back. I like that. I think it's cool. It's interesting. It keeps you engaged. Me and all my friends were like locked in the whole time trying to figure it out. The scene in the kitchen between Buck, Eddie, Hen, and Ravi is one of my favorites of the episode, specifically because of the way they shot it. I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but it was a little different than how they normally shoot 911. They start in on Buck and Eddie, and you're pretty much at eye level with Eddie. It feels like you're sitting at the table with him. And then it pans over, reveals Ravi, and then pans over, reveals Hen. And throughout the conversation, while there are cuts, you're mostly at eye level with Eddie and Hen, and you're kind of going back and forth as if you're literally sitting there, like having the conversation with the four of them at their level. There's no each character gets a separate setup. It's really interesting and cohesive, and it brings you in, and I just love the way they shot it. I thought it was really cool. I hope they do more of that. It was handheld. It wasn't, handheld is when they're holding the camera instead of having it on a tripod. Obsessed. It was kind of matching the vibe of the episode. I thought they did a really good job, and I love it when they're all working together. That cutting into the scenes of them all at dispatch working together and fielding calls, sending information to the people in the boardroom, marking things off on the map, and then the Scooby-Doo gang goes in and breaks and enters, and then they they got their flashlights and they make the discoveries. I was having a great time. It was fun. It was so much fun until it wasn't silly goofy anymore, because they reveal that these poor people have been trafficked and are trapped in the cement block and almost died. But that's 911. It's the whiplash of the silly goofy to the very serious. I do like, though, that 911 is not shying away from particular topics, and these people not being citizens and there being a positive message around that, I think is really important in today's society, especially in Los Angeles and everything that we're dealing with in this country. And especially the kind of fighting back that they do on behalf of these people and the advocating that they do on behalf of these people in the hospital, I think was excellent. And while, of course, they could have spent more time on this topic, everything is cut for time in this show, and I think they did a great job with what little time they did spend on it. And it's very possible it will continue a little bit maybe into the next few episodes. I have some predictions. We'll get to that later, but overall, really did a good job balancing the anxiety of the sort of, I don't know if trial is the right word, but them in the courtroom getting questioned, cutting between the different characters, and then kind of progressing the story from there. Thought they did a great job. Kenny Choi deserves his flowers now and always. He is an incredible actor. I love him as Chimney. I love it when we focus more on Chimney And I really liked all the levels that he showed us in this episode. And my particular favorite moment, though, is when he is in a tiara and boa playing like tea time with his daughter. That was the cutest thing I've ever seen, as a matter of fact. And I'm going to have cuteness aggression about that for quite some time, just so you know. Even characters who didn't have as much screen time this episode or as much of a focus shined. I mean, of course, they had Eddie Diaz carry the kid out of the building because they want you to feel as much pain as humanly possible. The look on his face haunted me. I can't think about it too hard, to be honest. Did a fantastic job. Him, like, interacting with the people in the room and at the hospital, kind of fighting back against this detective. Excellent work. Like, amazing. You know, Buck at the beginning when he is, you know, recovered pretty much, but still not back on the job and trying to help everyone. And he's back to his, like, I'm Buck and I'm going to help everyone. And, like, I'm going to do all these things for people I love kind of mode. Great. Excellent. There's nuance there because you could see in Oliver's portrayal of that, like, that Buck is still a little bit like, oof, finding his footing again. And while he's back to normal, like, there's still some recovery to be had, I think, mentally from the whole experience of that and feeling like maybe he doesn't so super fit in right now. Fantastic job. Even the little bits we got with, like, Maddie and May and Harry, Ravi, Hen, like, everyone was at the top of their game. Like, I don't know what to say. All right, let's talk theories. We have 1 month of hiatus before the last 2 episodes of the season, okay? Number 1, I think Captain Hooks is up to no good. I do not trust him. Obviously, they've shown that in the show, but I really think he's going to be a part of a much bigger plot line that's going to incorporate Athena in the last 2 episodes. I have not trusted him from the moment he stepped on screen. I was like, no, something's up. I don't trust him. And I think he's going to be a major plot point in the coming episodes. It has been teased that these episodes are, like, somehow bigger than the space arc. That's according to Elijah. I don't know if he's speaking correctly by saying that. But that leads me to believe this is something like government conspiracy, like, involves Russia. Like, we've already incorporated that into this episode a little bit. I'm like, are we going to do full, like, threat to our city? You know what I'm saying? Like, government involvement, foreign entity. I don't want to say the word because I think it's going to get this video banned, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's maybe where we're headed. That's one of the big predictions I've had for 911 for a while, actually, because it's not something that they've done in a minute and not to that extent. And I think he's going to be involved, personally. Yes, I did see the preview for the next episodes, the explosion on the bridge. I do think Buck is looking at Eddie. I mean, I could be wrong. It could be a civilian, right? They could be baiting us. That's possible. But he's only given that facial expression a few times, and it's usually involving Eddie. And I think an Eddie NDE would open the door to a lot of things. A lot of things, you guys. So we'll see. We'll see if any of our predictions are true. I'm sure the next month is going to be full of predictions, full of crazy theories. The next 2 episode titles have me chewing through drywall, to be honest. The episode 17, it's called I Got You, Babe, which is a reference to a song. The phrase I got you, babe, in general has me going crazy, but then also that is the name of the song that is used in the movie Groundhog's Day. Super interesting. And then today, the finale title was revealed, and it's Hearts and Flowers. I Got You, Babe, into Hearts and Flowers. I feel incredibly deranged, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, as a Buddy fan, this could mean nothing, but it also could mean everything. You know what I mean? You just don't know. I'm sure I will be spinning out, like many of you, over the next 4 weeks, waiting eagerly for the next episode. I'll come on here and chat about any new news that comes out, if it's relevant and worthy of talking about. Otherwise, I will be back on my BS for episode 17 in roughly a month. And otherwise, I'll be catching up on episodes of the Buddy System. I'll be on Twitter. I will be buddy maxing with my friends as I do. Continue to keep sending me edits, you guys. I love the edits you all send me in the DMs. Incredible work. Please don't stop. And let me know your thoughts on this week's episode. Bye!